got no interior except for the front. And I don't even know if you guys can hear me. So this is something else. So I'm going to tell you more about it. We got some other videos going up, so that's it for now. Let's just get into the exterior and the engine bay. You guys are going to love this. Alright crew, we've got the interior here that we're going to start from, and as you can see, the front two seats are pretty normal, except for all the gizmos that you'll see here. We do have a Carrozzeria audio system and Navi screen thing that pops up there. And yeah, basically the dash and everything and the interior is pretty normal, as you can see here. But obviously the electronics here are quite a bit different. So we do have your ETC reader here for your electronic toll needs. We do have a Tec-Tom ignition controller here. We have DEFI gauges here. These are multi readouts here, so pretty cool. They have all sorts of indicators, which I'll show in a second, such as oil temperature, water temperature, RPM, and temperatures. They're all over the place. FC Commander here from Apex. And over here we do have the T51R, oh sorry, it's the EVC6 IR 2.4. And yeah, the engine turbine that I was mentioning was the T51R. So we do have a lot of electronic tuning that goes along with the big turbo kit that we have here. And of course we also have this knock amp here, which you can see there, air fuel knock amp. So basically, and of course warnings because everything is off right now, which I'll get to in a second because it is quite noisy and don't want to upset the neighbors. And of course we have this Momo steering wheel and a lot of glare. I do apologize for that. So let me step out here for a second so you can see a little bit more of the seat that I was sitting in. Here we are. As you can see, bride holding monster, so all good there for your holding needs. And of course this roll cage here, which you guys might be curious about, wondering what the heck, that's quite the roll cage. It's a 13-point, and it's from Cusco, by the way, so it also adds some chassis rigidity as well as safety, so very, very cool. And of course in the back here, let's see if I can move this here 1 second. I do apologize. There we go. And see, as you can see, little cross member there and everything, and the hole to the back. We do have the battery, which is in this case here, and yeah, this is also some of the adjusters right there for the suspension. So fully adjustable coilover setup, which I'll go through the parts list here in a second, but I'll show you guys the exterior here. And yes, this is carbon fiber, so a bit more resistance on closing that, just because it's so light, the spring force bounces back pretty easily, so do want to make sure I close that properly. And as you can see here, this thing is quite the looker. And of course we do have the other video, since this one is more of the informational one, just a good old walk around. You could see I do explain a little bit more about the parts also in that other video, but also demonstrate a bit more of the performance firsthand. So, and we do have the Koenigs all around, very nice, and this really big GT wing. And this is not just fashion, it is also very, very functional. Really helps, because this thing really does get up and go. It's pretty vicious. So like I said, check out that other video and you'll get a feel for it. And yeah, being an actual V-Spec. It does have a lot of Nismo parts, and of course I was mentioning earlier by mistake the T51 already, which I'll get to in a second when we're talking about the engine stuff. As you can see, plenty of diffusers here, getting that airflow around the car and keeping this down on the ground, keeping the handling really good. And by the way, this exhaust, just checking the parts list real quick. Forgot the name again. But it is from Auto Active Garage, which is a titanium muffler, by the way. And for this kit though, like all of these diffusers that you're seeing, so we do have the HRD front bumper that I'll show you again, and of course we do have the Electra carbon trunk and the carbon doors, so all of that's carbon fiber, genuine. And we got the real factory M rear bumper and the top secret G-Force side skirts here. They're the Kai's. And same for the rear bumper, it's the Kai edition. And for the front we have this HRD front bumper, which is also Kai. So there are different editions of these, but this pretty interesting. Oh yeah, and that rear wing, I'm sorry, that was a Voltex. And it's the Varis rear diffuser. And of course you can see this hood. It's also got the vent there. And yeah, I'm gonna jump into the engine bay here. It's gonna take me a minute, so we'll just fast forward because I gotta unbutton everything. Alright, so definitely these hood pins are functional. And as you can see, little aftermarket composite custom hood. And here we go. And yeah, all of these mods are pretty wild here. So as you can see, the T51R Kai that I was mentioning earlier by mistake, this is what we're talking about. This really big snail, as you can see here. Quite the intake. So we got the Greddy intake going to the HKS turbo, going to the HKS plumbing, to this big old intercooler here. Back up through here we got HPI couplers there, and of course this intake plenum that you can see here. We do have the, as you can see, this really crazy contraption. It is individual throttle bodies through this intake plenum, so we got massive flow through here. Oh, sorry, I forgot the brand. I'm getting the parts list right here on the phone. And so yeah, this radiator is also HPI. So we got a few HPI components here. And in this engine here, as you can tell, it's obviously not stock. We've got the Nismo GT block. We got Tomei pistons, they're 87 millimeter. Got BC connecting rods, BC crankshaft, which it's got 73.7 millimeter stroke. Tomei Pro cams, so these are adjustable, and obviously you can see it's got some markings there for tamper. So they have been adjusted, and they're 270 with a 10.8 millimeter lift, I believe. And we've got a Ross Performance dry sump. So we also have multiple oil coolers, which I'm not sure if we can actually see them through here because of all the extra plumbing. As you can see, quite a bit of plumbing. They're from Kino Kuni. We do have an oil cooler and a transmission oil cooler. We see a lot of extra plumbing down there. Now I'm not so sure about the pulley system. I don't think they have other than maybe some balancers, but they don't have like any underdrive as far as I'm aware of. It's not on the parts list. And I got the fuel filter there, a whole bunch of extra plumbing. Oh, by the way, for those of you guys that want to check your local registry for some additional information, there you go. It is a genuine V-Spec. And by the way, this intake plenum is from Naprec, as well as the throttle body system. So they're 49 millimeters. So you could see all of that going on there underneath that fuel rail, which is from Sard. And also those injectors are 1150cc injectors, so plenty of fuel being dumped in, which I also demonstrate in that other video that I'm mentioning. You got plenty of shielding on here. So it takes some serious tuning to get all of this together, and it is just working flawlessly. And I did want to mention some other things about the suspension setup, which you can see we've got the coilovers. You can also see from the stance and from everything I was showing earlier that this is just pretty wild. We've got IKEA formula front pillow adjuster links. We've got the roll center adjuster, pillow arms, tie rod ends. Also in the rear, we got the rear lower arms, the rear knuckle, and rear camber adjuster upper arms. Sorry, tongue twister there. With all the pillow bushings and everything. So this has got the front and rear suspension support, plus the actual suspension kit, which is HKS Hyper Max. It's the Hyper Max 4s SPs. So, oh, sorry, there we go. I think I could see the logo right there for HKS. And in the back, they do have the adjusters for it, like I showed you on the interior. And there's some silicone hosing, more silicone hosing, lots of shielding. Some of the HKS electronics that I was showing earlier because of the hosing, and different anodized brackets, making it all come together. Got the collectors and the vents, little collector tank, little ventilation there for the valve casing there. There's just a lot going on here. Oh, also I forgot to mention HID kit. So yes, with this, as you can see, the halos. Just a lot going on here, and getting everything redirected with this carbon fiber shroud. It's something else. That's all I can really say. And by the way, for the transmission, oh, and the brakes, by the way. So behind these Koenigs, you could see quite large there. They're D2 brakes. We've got 8 piston in the front and 4 piston in the rear. And I'll tell you, this is definitely a really nice brake kit. Going from stock and different mods, a lot of the other ones, even R34s, these have got to be some of the best brakes that I've tried on any of our Skylines in a long time. So these definitely grab. And with how wide these tires are, geez, I keep forgetting to mention that these are 19s. 285/30 19s. By the way, where's that number? It's down there. Focus. Well, anyways, they're Falcons. Wait, is that it? Yeah, there it is. Sorry, upside down. There we go. Shoot, I'll get to the other ones, but yeah, 19s, really, really wide. Very nice. And that's quite the deep dish, really. I think it's a +10 offset, so definitely freaking wide. Oh yeah, the transmission I keep forgetting to mention is the OS Geiken, or OS Geiken, however you want to say it. It's the was it the OS 88, I believe? Let me double check on the numbers. I had it here a second ago. Yeah, OS 88 is option 2, which is a 6-speed. So getting all this power down to all four wheels is definitely definitely does a good job at that. But also you see that sequential. Didn't have to use the clutch after first gear. So how's that? It's quite the wing there. And yeah, just everything about this is just really wild. So I hope you like that overview, and if you have any other questions, just contact our sales team, info@jdm-expo.com. Don't forget to check out the other Tokyo Adventure run. You definitely check out that other video. I'll have that linked, so if you could see what this can actually do. We're just a little bit light on this one, dealing with everyday traffic, but when it gets to around midnight in Tokyo, things change a bit. So hope you guys enjoy that, and don't hesitate to contact us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All DMs go to our sales team. And if you have any other cars that you're interested in, just let them know, and they'll be glad to help you out. So I'll see you guys in the next video.